Berlin love, divided city. Berlin Wall, youth, graffiti, hope. A man and a woman with a leather jacket passionately kiss next to the wall, with looks of love and defiance. Sunlight filters through the clouds, creating an atmosphere of hope and danger. Without, Opsis. Berlin, 1987. The echo of the division resonates in every corner of the city, where the Berlin Wall stands as a symbol of oppression and separation. Lena, a young music student in Berlin, in the Orient, he dreams of freedom and the opportunity to express his art without restrictions. Max, a young mechanic from West Berlin, fights against injustice and seeks a way to build bridges in between the two separated worlds. Their paths cross in a clandestine encounter where music and passion unite them. Lena and Max fall in love in the shadows of the wall, sharing dreams and hope. Zaz in the midst of constant danger. Their love becomes an act of resistance, a challenge to the oppression that surrounds them. Together, they plan a risky escape, using a secret tunnel excavated b. They went to the wall. Their love is tested by the surveillance of the Stasi, the uncertainty of the future, and the betrayal of those they trusted. Tragedy strikes when the Stasi discovers their plan. Max is captured, and Lena is forced to flee alone to West Berlin. She finds refuge in a community of artists and activists, where she continues fighting for the freedom of Max and of all that remained trapped in the East. Years later, the fall of the Berlin Wall brings freedom and hope. Lena returns to East Berlin, looking for Max. Their love is reunited among the debris of the wall, a symbol of the victory of love over oppression. Detailed chapters. Chapter 1. The Shadow of the Wall. Description of the oppressive atmosphere in East Berlin, daily life Iana, under the surveillance of the Stasi. Introduction of Lena, her passion for music and her longing for freedom. Description of life in West Berlin, the feeling of relative freedom and the worry introduction by those on the other side. Introduction of Max, his fight against injustice and his desire to help his friends from the East. Chapter 2. Clandestine encounter, details of the secret meeting in Lena and Max, a hidden place where they can speak freely. Their connection through music and a passion for freedom. The beginning of their romance, a love that blossoms amidst danger. The constant tension and the fear of being discovered. Chapter 3. The Tunnel of Hope, description of the secret tunnel, the hope it represents and the risks it implies. Details of the planning and the escape, the collaboration with other activists, and the growing trust between Lena and Max. The construction of the tunnel, the technical challenges, and the constant threat of being discovered. The dreams of a life together in freedom. Chapter 4. The Betrayal and the Capture. The infiltration of a Stasi informant into their group of activists. The growing paranoia and distrust among the members of group. The night of the escape, the arrival of the Stasi, and the capture of Max. Lena's anguish and her desperation to save Max. Chapter 5. The escape and the refuge, Lena's escape to West Berlin, fear and loneliness. Her encounter with a community of artists and activists who welcome her. Lena's fight for Max's freedom, her participation in demonstrations and awareness campaigns, and the desperation of knowing nothing about Max. Chapter 6. The struggle and the resistance, Lena's life in West Berlin, her work as an activist and her struggle to keep hope alive. The grow. International pressure on the communist regime and the weakening of the wall. As Lena stays informed of what happens in the East. Chapter 7. The Fall of the Wall. The historic night of the 9 November of 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall. The euphoria and emotion that take hold of the city. Lena's hope of finding Max. Chapter 8. The reunion and the echo of freedom. The Lena's return to East Berlin, Max's search among the rubble of the wall. The emotional reunion of Lena and Max, a symbol of the victory of love over oppression. The future of the two, Intos, and like the echo of freedom, will always be present. Subscribe and comment.